Jordan Reviews.
Hello everybody. What do you say we go a bit more in depth on Final Fight Streetwise? Final Fight Streetwise was produced by Capcom and developed by American Capcom team Studio 8 in 2006 for Xbox and the PS2. The game sucks. No, I'm just kidding. But, seriously though, it's actually not very good. And here's why! This game tries to introduce the idea of a 3D fighting beat-em-up game using the Final Fight story and characters and some bits of the history, but it does it not very well. A lot of the story feels very childish, to be fair. It feels like something that was written by a high school student who perhaps has watched way too many Quentin Tarantino movies. The dialogue feels absolutely god-awful, if we're being fair. And the story just feels so terrible. And the fact is, you're meant to take the story seriously when it's presented in such a way that just seems unintentionally comical. Gameplay-wise, the game works. It is very much a fighting game. You have combos, you have throws, you have a light and a heavy attack. You also have a counter move as well as a blocking move. And it also has an upgrade mechanic where you can learn new combos and new moves. And you can also upgrade your character. But this really doesn't come into play until about nearly 3 hours later into the game. Other than that, the gameplay begins to feel very repetitive very quickly. The game has a few other simple problems. The camera really just doesn't seem to work all that well. And trying to lock on or just trying to fight other characters, especially when it just becomes just mobs of characters, becomes a bit chaotic. Other than that, it's pretty simple and pretty generic. After a while, it just feels boring. Another big problem with this game is the fact that because there's no map system, you really have no idea on exactly where it is you're supposed to go. You can look through your mission statements on what it is that you're supposed to be doing, but the game never really bothers to tell you exactly where you're to go. So you'll end up asking yourself a lot, where am I supposed to go? Until finally you just come upon a green glowing icon and you realize, oh, that's where I'm supposed to go. This will happen a lot. The sad thing is this game actually had some potential. It really did. But in the long run, falls pretty short. So, in all honesty, this game is boring. It's very boring. The story is terrible. The characters are terrible. There's no really redeeming factor of this game. I could see how later on the fighting might get a bit better once you unlock the gyms and start powering up your character and unlocking new combos. But because that comes so much later in the game, it just doesn't feel worth it. Now, in case you're not aware exactly, my rating system goes from about a 1 to 10. So, and I gotta be fair, I gotta give this game a 5 out of 10. Below average. If you'd like to, I'm sure you can go to your nearest pawn shop and maybe find it for perhaps even a lower price than what I got it for. Overall, this game is pretty mediocre, and it's just filled with flaws. It's pretty easy to understand why it was so heavily overlooked and not looked at too well. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time.